So let's talk about Francis Chan. When you hear that name, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For a lot of people, it's words like passion, conviction, authenticity. He's known for really stirring people up. But what if the very reason we find him so compelling has been kind of misunderstood? What if our admiration, when you look at it from a certain angle, is actually unbiblical? Yeah, let's dive into that provocative idea.
It's a solid question, isn't it? I mean, very few people can listen to one of his sermons or read one of his books and just walk away feeling nothing. There's just something about him that connects, that resonates deeply. So that's what we're going to unpack here. What is really going on that draws people to him so powerfully?
Okay, so first things first, let's just lay out the common perception. We're talking about the things you've probably heard, or maybe even thought yourself, about what makes him such an effective and compelling leader.
You look at a list like this and you see things like humble, but also bold, compassionate, yet still convictional. You hear about his generosity, his patience, his joy. These are the traits that really build that public image of Francis Chan. And hey, they're absolutely admirable qualities in anyone. But do me a favor, burn this list into your memory, because we're about to flip it on its head and look at it from a totally different perspective.
And here we go. This is where the whole argument takes a sharp, really unexpected turn. We're about to explore an idea that challenges the very foundation of why we admire leaders like him in the first place.
Whoa, okay, just let that one hang in the air for a second. If the only explanation for Francis Chan is Francis Chan, then all of this is unbiblical. That is a heavy, provocative statement. I mean, your first reaction is probably, wait, what? How on earth can being humble or compassionate be unbiblical? It doesn't make sense on the surface, right? So let's break down what's really being argued here.
And that gets us to the absolute heart of this whole idea, this critical, crucial distinction between admiring the man himself and recognizing the work of the Spirit in the man. It's a subtle difference, but it is absolutely profound.
So here's the thinking. The Bible never really points to things like charisma, or a magnetic personality, or natural speaking gifts as the source of true spiritual fruit. The argument is that our focus isn't meant to be on those natural human talents, but on something else, something much deeper.
This chart just lays it out so clearly. On the one hand, you have the things that are easy to admire in a person, their personality, their charisma, how well they speak. But on the other side, you have what the Bible calls the fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace. The central argument we're exploring is that we often get these two mixed up. We see the charisma and we mistake it for the joy that comes from the Spirit.
Okay, remember that list from before? Let's pull it back up. We've got humble, compassionate, gentle, patient, joyful. Really lock those words in your mind as we move to the next slide.
Now look at that list right next to this one, which comes from the book of Galatians and describes the fruit of the Spirit. What do you see? Joy, patience, gentleness, boom, boom, boom. The overlap is, well, it's undeniable. And this is the absolute core of the argument. Maybe what we're all admiring isn't just a great personality. Maybe it's actual evidence of something divine at work. And that leads us to the big reveal of this whole thing. If our admiration isn't really for the man himself, then what is the true source of all these compelling qualities? And here it is, the big idea stated as simply as possible. The argument is that the thing people are actually responding to, the thing they find so compelling and so attractive, it's not the man, Francis Chan, it's something else working through him.
So what is it then? Well, the theological term for it is Christ in him. And the idea is pretty straightforward. It's the Holy Spirit working through a person who has surrendered to him, producing a character that doesn't just reflect awesome human talent, but reflects God's own character.
So according to this perspective, when people say, oh, I just love Francis Chan's ministry, what they might actually be feeling is something much, much deeper. It's more like, I see a reflection of Jesus in this man, and it awakens something powerful inside of me. It's a recognition of the divine.
You know, this isn't some brand new 21st century idea. This goes way back. In the early church, people started forming these little fan clubs saying, I follow Paul, or, well, I follow Apollos. And the Apostle Paul himself had to step in and correct them, reminding them that the speaker is never the point. The light is supposed to point past them to Christ.
Okay, so if the big idea is not to get fixated on the person, what is the right response?
When we see these incredible qualities in a leader, how are we supposed to channel that admiration in a healthy, biblical way?
This is the big mindset shift right here. The good stuff, the fruit you see in a leader's life isn't evidence that they are some kind of extraordinary superhuman. No, it's evidence that the Spirit is alive and active. The credit and our admiration should always point to the source.
And this is great because it gives us a super practical framework for how to do this. Number 1, admire their example, for sure. 2, learn from what they teach. But here's the key. Number 3 is to imitate their pursuit of Christ, not their personality. And finally, number 4, make sure you give the glory to the true source of it all.
And this verse from the Apostle Paul just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the model. He's basically saying, hey, follow my lead, but only insofar as I myself am following the ultimate leader, Christ. The focus is always being redirected.
And that really brings us to the bottom line of this whole discussion. For anyone on a spiritual path, the goal is never to become a little clone of your favorite pastor or speaker. The goal is to be personally shaped and transformed into the image of Christ himself.
So let's wrap this all up by turning the question inward. It's one thing to recognize the work of the Spirit in somebody else. That's the easy part. The real challenge is to ask, what fruit is the Spirit trying to grow in you? Right now, in your life, what aspects of love, joy, peace, or patience is He trying to cultivate? That's a powerful question to sit with.